So I'm going to show the elimination method of simultaneous equation. So when we are trying to eliminate, do the elimination method, that means you are trying to eliminate something. So what is the thing that you are trying to eliminate? So we are trying to eliminate same algebra. You want to get rid of same algebra. Okay, so I'm going to use two examples to show you. Okay, so first of all, right, when you have the simultaneous equation, the first thing you do, you label the equation 1 and equation 2. So listen up, label the equation. Label the equation. That is your very, very first step. And make sure your equation is in the format. Is in the xy equal to number format. So if you look carefully, you look at the algebra for x. So do you realize that this is 1x, this is 1x, and here this is 1y, and this is minus 2y. So if you observe the algebra, do you discover any same algebra? So in this one, right, do you discover that the same algebra is the x? So you are trying to get rid of the 1x. How are you going to get rid of 1x? You are going to subtract, or you're going to add. So think about it. So in this case, right, x and x, how are you going to eliminate them? So 1x and 1x, how do you make it into 0x? You got to subtract it. Okay, so x minus x will disappear, correct? So have this thinking in your head. So I'm going to get rid of x by equation 1 minus equation 2. So listen up. Equation 1 minus equation 2. So this is the first equation. The left side of the first equation minus the left side of the second equation. So I'm subtracting. Left side, subtract left side. Right side, subtract right side. Okay, so I'm subtracting the equation. The left side of equation 1, subtract away the left side of the equation 2. The right side of the equation 1, subtract the right side of the equation 2. Left minus left, right minus right. So I'm subtracting. Okay, so to put it simply, I'm going to subtract. Here, I'm also going to subtract. So when I subtract, okay, do your normal algebra. Okay, open up the bracket. So in the first place, right, there should be a bracket. And you will find that your x is being cancelled away. So if you do equation 1 subtracting equation 2, you will be able to get the value of y because you get rid of the 1x. So you realize you get rid of the 1x. So you should aim to get rid of something. So right now, I'm trying to get rid of 1x by doing an equation 1 subtracting an equation 2. So when I do that, okay, I found the value of y. So do I stop there? No. Your aim is to find x and y. So how are you going to find your x and y? So once you got an answer, you can choose. you can put your y equal to 1 into equation 1. Put it into equation 1. So what is equation 1? This is equation 1. So you put the y value inside. And from there, you can find your x. So the final answer will be x is equal to 4, y is equal to 1. So make sure you got all the statement. Okay. So before I go to part B, I want to emphasize, I want to see your equation 1, equation 2. So I would like to see your equation 1, equation 2. I would like you to tell me, are you subtracting the equation? It can be adding the equation. So in the next example, I'm going to show you the adding of the equation. Sometimes you do equation 1 plus equation 2. So you will either be doing this or you will either be doing this. So you will need to show me, are you doing equation 1 minus equation 2 or are you doing equation 1 plus equation 2? Okay, and then you need to tell me, where are you putting back? So if somebody will say, can I put y equal to 1 into equation 2? Yeah, you can. So maybe you will say that I would like to put into equation 2. Does that work? You can try. So if you look at equation 2, this is equation 2. You put in the y equal to 2, y equal to 1. You still get the same x value. So it doesn't matter whether you put the y back into equation 1 or equation 2. The value should be the same. But if you don't get the same value, something must have gone wrong. It should be 99% is your careless mistake. Okay. So right now, if this is your answer, right, can you do some checking? Okay, I'm going to show you the checking. So if I'm going to do the checking, so I'm going to do the checking when x is equal to 4, when y is equal to 1. I'm going to do it on equation 1. So equation 1 is x plus y. So I put the x and y. I got the 5. So I'm also going to check equation 2. So I'm going to check equation 2. So it will be 4 minus 2 times 1. So you put in the x and y that you have found, a little bit like working backwards. You get the 2 in the question. So that's how we do the checking. So with the answers, you check back both equations. It should match the equation. It should be the same equation that you are getting. Okay, so that is, for this example, we are getting rid of 1x. Okay, so I'm going to erase the screen. So make sure you understand this, you copy this correctly first. Okay, you can pause the video. Okay, make sure you are okay with this. I'm going to erase the whole thing. I'm going to go on to part B. Okay, so in part B, right? In part B, we are also going to get rid of something. We are going to get rid of same algebra. Okay, but before we get rid of same algebra, label the equation. Okay, you label the equation and you make sure it's in the x, y equal to number format. Okay, but if you observe this, right, you don't have any same algebra because this is 3x, this is 2x. And then this is plus 4y, this is negative 3y. You actually don't have same algebra. So when you don't have same algebra, you can make the same algebra happen. So mentally, I want to make this into 12y. Okay, I would like to make this into minus 12y. So this is the algebra that I want to get rid. I'm going to produce a 12y. So how am I going to produce a 12y? I multiply by 3. Okay, so in my head, right, I already planned. I want to get rid of 12y. So the first equation got to multiply by 3. So equation 1 has to multiply by 3. So you tell people what you are doing. So equation 1 multiplied by 3, what does that mean? Means that times 3 times 3 times 3. So you get 9x plus 12y. That becomes a brand new equation. That becomes a brand new equation. So I'm going to multiply the second equation by 4. So times 4 times 4 times 4. So I got a brand new equation. So if you don't see same algebra, you create the same algebra to subtract. Okay, so I'm creating the 12y for me to subtract. Okay, and then after that, right? Okay, so this is the one that I'm going to subtract. Okay, observe carefully first. This is the one that I'm going to subtract. I'm going to get rid. How am I going to get rid of it? I'm going to do a plus. I'm going to do a plus so that I get 0y. So I'm going to add up these two equations. I'm going to add up these two equations. So left side plus left side. Right side plus right side. So I'm adding up. So when you add up, you should discover that the 12y disappear. So when you add up, right, you will discover that the 12y disappear. 12y minus 12y disappear. And you're left with 17x. So if you decide to get rid of 12y, you will find your value of x first. So after that, are you supposed to stop there? Of course not. Your job is to continue to find y. So where are you going to put your x equal to 3? You're going to put x equal to 3 into any of the equation that you like. I think I prefer equation 1. So I'm going to put it back into equation 1. So I'm going to put the 3 inside. So I will get my value for y. So you create the same algebra to get rid if you don't have any same algebra to get rid of. Okay, so if I'm trying to get rid of 12y, because one is a positive 12y, one is a negative 12y, I just need to add them up and it will disappear. Okay, common sense will tell you, if you add a positive and you add a negative, it will just become a 0. Okay, so maybe right now in your head, you may be thinking, can I make same algebra for the x? So if you're thinking like, oh, can I make same algebra for the x? Yes, you can. So another approach will be, some people say that I want to multiply by 2. Because when I multiply by 2, I got a 6x. And then they say that I want to multiply by 3. So you multiply by 3, multiply by 3. So if you multiply by 3, you also got a 6x. So you also get a brand new equation. So in this case, right, what are you getting rid of? You are going to get rid of 6x. So both are positive. You will get rid of it by subtracting. Left side, subtract left side. So remember to subtract with a bracket. Right side, subtract right side. So if you carry on with this, right, you realize you can give it a try. You will still get the same answer. You will still get the same answer. Okay, so that is the elimination method. So elimination method rely on getting rid of same algebra. So you need to have same algebra to start with. If there's no same algebra to start with, you create the same algebra. So you get rid of it by adding the two equation or by subtracting the equation.